So the moment Abigail and Libba started getting along, I knew someone was going to die. Hi guys, my name is Maria Park and this is Approach the Nerd. And in this episode, we are reviewing Motherland, Fort Salem, Season 1, Episode 8, entitled City Drop. So I have worked a long day, guys, so I was not emotionally prepared for this episode. There was so much stuff that happened. Oh my gosh. So I'm just going to jump in. So when we left with our unit in the last episode, they were jumping out of a helicopter to go on the city drop, which is basically a test to see how they perform as a unit and their eligibility to make it into war college. The moment they hit the ground, Tally breaks her leg and Raelle goes to heal her using the linking thing that, they learned in the previous episode, because for some reason they're always able to do things even if they've had very little training doing it. And she sees, of course, the one memory she needs to see to know that Tally's been keeping something from her. And that is that she saw Scylla talking to a balloon in the mirror at the wedding in the bathroom. And I kept thinking to myself, of all the things that Raelle could have seen in that moment, it had to be pertaining to her girlfriend. But I mean, maybe if that's basically dependent on the person that's linking with you and how, whatever whatever memories you have affects them directly. I mean, maybe by association. I don't know. I mean, she didn't pull anything else. Like she could have saw, Tally getting it on, with Garrett. She could have seen Tally and her mother fighting about her joining the military. She could have seen something, else from Tally's past, but she didn't. She saw Scylla. So maybe because she wanted to see it, wishful thinking, I don't know, love, I don't know. But so she sees it, and of course, her and Tally get into it. She accuses Tally of knowing that, Scylla was alive and keeping it from her. She was not nice to Tally. Actually, Raelle was not nice to Tally for a big, beginning chunk of this episode. Now, I got to give praise to Tally. Tally stood up for herself. She's been doing that a lot. She is completely past how she was pre-Beltane. I don't know, maybe when she got laid, she got lady balls, because she started standing up for herself to the point where she was taking over as leader, saying, I'll navigate. Abigail, you do this. Raelle, you do that. So Tally was like on it. And she was like, I was doing it to protect you. You don't have to like me. We're still a unit. She was just like, whatever, we're doing this. So I have so much respect for Tally, which is why it was hard for me to watch Raelle be mad at Tally. I'm used to Raelle and Abigail going at it. It was interesting. And speaking of Abigail, Abigail needs therapy. She beat the holy crap out of one of the trainers during City Drop. I don't know when Abigail snapped, but the trainer hit her, and I guess she went back to that room with Chevelle and being helpless and not, feeling powerless and letting her guard down and basically blaming herself for her cousin dying. She was beating this woman to death, to the point where had Tally not held her back and Raelle not come in and basically talked Abigail down, she may have killed her. That woman's face was beaten in. I mean, yeah, it was a mess. So yeah, that girl needs therapy, which makes me wonder, where is Bridie, Abigail's bodyguard? Now remember Bridie, her mother Petra said, you can't go anywhere without this bodyguard. She's the best. I trust her. And for an entire episode, we saw Bridie. But we never saw Bridie after they found Raelle on the beach. Bridie is gone. So I don't understand. I mean, Abigail is still a bellwether. She's still of childbearing age. So to me, she's still in danger. But in the last episode, she's running around the rail with a dill, out everywhere with no protection, no bodyguard. I am so confused right now. Was it a writer screw up, a plot hole? What happened to Bridie? Just a question I have. But moving on from that, Raelle and Scylla. So this is going to be controversial. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate on this post. Now, disclaimer, I say this a lot. I am in the LGBT community. I'm an LGBT card member. I have an LGBT marriage. I am not against this relationship. It is great for representation. The actresses have chemistry. I love the characters together, except Scylla is a sociopath. I'm sorry. I can't fully support a relationship where one of the members of this relationship has killed 1,600 people in the pilot episode and had no problem killing Porter, basically making him kill himself with no remorse, and has shown that the only person that she cares about is Raelle. That is not good. That is like a stalker mentality. I'm just being real. If this had been a guy and a girl, and people saw this, they would think this is crazy. This guy is going to hurt you, like the Netflix series You. I mean, it's hard to support this couple because one of them is a murderer. And no matter how you look at it, it's hard to redeem her because she's done unforgivable stuff. And I know that there are characters out there. I know people are going to throw it out that, there's so many characters that have gone through different TV shows that have done horrible things and are redeemed. This is true. But she mass murdered 1,600 people in the pilot episode, and she killed Porter, and she had no conscience about it whatsoever. And the only thing that stopped Scylla was that she got caught. Yeah, she didn't turn Raelle in because she loves Raelle. I do believe she does love her, but that is the only person, and you cannot be redeemed when the only person is the person that you love in this world. The only person you'll protect is the person that you love in this world. Your girlfriend is literally the only thing you care about, and you don't give a crap what happens to anybody else. What if that had been Tally and Abigail, and basically they came to the base to attack them, and Scylla knew about it? Would Raelle be able to forgive that? Because, that's her unit. Those are like her sisters now. And honestly, I cannot tell you that Scylla would stop it. I really can't, because she only cares about Raelle. So, yeah, and it's hard. But, honestly, I really want them to find another girl for Raelle, or, make Tally pansexual and go for, Raelle. I don't really see, unless we find out, and I guess this plays more into General Alder, that Alder's group is actually the evil group, and that all the 1,600 people at the commencement were actually brainwashed or evil, and that Porter was working with Alder and he's evil, and that really Scylla and the Spree are the rebels of this TV show, and it's going to be a 180 and we'll never see it coming. Then she will be redeemable. But if that doesn't happen, she's a murderer. I mean, there's nothing else to say. Scylla is a murderer. No matter how cute they look, no matter how cute the fan art and fanfics are, no matter how much chemistry these two actresses have in these scenes, and they have tons. I am on board with that. These two girls under any other circumstances would be amazing. But Scylla is a murderer. End of story. I know you're going to be mad. Come at me. I can take it. But it is what it is. So I am very happy that Raelle, even though it took her a minute in this episode, how she went through the stages of grief and denial and anger, that she finally came to a point where she was like, you're a liar. And she chose her unit over her girlfriend. And I was completely okay with that. The scene where she's beating that Spree's butt, not knowing if it was really Scylla, was very therapeutic for her and for me, because it shows me that Raelle actually cares and is not more leaning towards joining, the Spree, because that's what I was worried about this season, that she would follow Scylla to the Spree and become just as bad. And with her abilities, they would have problems. So yeah, I'm happy to see that she chose her sisters over her girlfriend. Alder is dirty. I've been saying it since my first episode review. She is dirty. She had no problem killing those civilians. She had no problem sending those cadets out to die. She is dirty. And I still think she found the Spree. I think she is the founder. And the reason why, it's a political move for her. It's to keep her in power. And the reason that the Spree is now where she's going basically full-fledged attack mode on them and trying to wipe them all out is because, number one, she's trying to clean up behind herself. And two, I think it evolved into a group that's actually an anti-military group. It went from her starting a movement for political gain to an actual political terrorist type group. And now she's like, well, crap. I do believe Alder did that. But yeah, she's so dirty. And like, what was the general's name? Was it May's general? The one whose daughter died during Beltane, the one that went to Petra, and they were talking about how Alder should no longer be in charge. I really and truly believe that everyone's going to turn on Alder by the end of this season, because she is on a power trip, and it is really sad. And Anacostia, when she told Anacostia to send those cadets in the real battle, and the tragedy of Libba dying, which I'll get in a minute. I'll get to that in 1 second. That you could see it when Anacostia was following those orders to begin with. She already didn't want to do it. You could see it on her face. And then when she had to do it, it was almost like the Kool-Aid that she had been drinking started to dry out, and she was becoming dehydrated, and reality was sinking back into her skull. So when you see her talk to General Alder and she's like, I need to get back to my cadets, that attitude shows that even though Alder is her pseudo or foster mom and her boss and her role model, she's not playing on Team Alder anymore. And that is, I think, is going to be another linchpin in Alder's fall by the end of this season. So I'm really excited about that. And of course, Libba. I knew, when Abigail and Libba basically were having that moment, first of all, it started at the end of the last episode where she was saying great speech. And then when Libba's group basically came behind Abigail and helped her against one of the trainers that was posing a spree, and basically had her back, I already had a weird feeling that something was going to go down. And then after they did city drop and they were on the way to real combat, her and Libba were sitting side by side on the helicopter, and Abigail said, your team was great because they had a great leader, and basically saying Libba was a great leader and giving her props. And they had like this really cute making fun of each other moment. I mean, these two girls have known each other since childhood, and they finally found common ground and respect, and they pretty much were on the way to an actual genuine friendship. And that's when I knew something bad was going to happen. And of course, when they're ordered to take out the truck, and the second truck that had the civilians on it, which Tally foresaw, which I'll get to that too, Libba did not survive. The scrap metal hit Abigail, so she had a head injury, but it also hit Libba in her heart and shredded it, and they couldn't heal her, so she died. So Libba is dead. And I was like, I was so upset because I actually thought they had more potential to bond more. I really wanted her to have like a little friend outside of her unit, because I think they all need to evolve as people, outside of their group, which I'm all for their group being like each other's sisters, but, have other relationships to help them develop into people that aren't just crazy soldiers. That's pretty much what they are. They're just so super focused on being soldiers. And I just thought that was a really good opportunity to bury the hatchet, not only with, a friendship, but between their families, because the Bellwethers, and I think her last name was Swathe, I think they don't like each other. So that would have been awesome to have that. But she died, and I'm really hoping she's not the last one in her line, because that's it. That's going to be a mess. So yeah, that really was hard. Abigail took that extremely hard, and of course we see Adil, the whole cuddling scene, and him and her saying, you said I didn't really see the world, I see it now. And he said, whoever said that is an idiot, but they are cuddling. I thought they are such a cute little couple. I'm glad Abigail is finally with someone who she's not just being with for sex and comfort. So they are cute, and I really want them to progress this season and maybe more in the next season. But I like the potential for these two. They are from two different worlds, guys. So if they work out, it's going to be awesome. Okay, and then Tally. So Tally foresaw the civilians in the truck and told Anacostia, but Alder still, basically told Anacostia to take out the people in the truck, even though civilians were being held as hostages. You could see on Tally's face that everything she believed that she was doing, the whole reason she defied her mother, and she didn't have to join the military, but she went and joined the military, all of that stuff, everything she believed, all the optimism and the pride she had for Alder and being a soldier and defending the people and saving people was literally crushed. Because now she's seeing that her view of her situation in the military was basically through rose-colored glasses, because the military is dirty, which is, I'm a military brat, so there's no real, for me, that's not really I love the military, I support our military, but I've also seen some stuff, so I'm just saying, no news for me. But I think that Tally's heart broke. It just did. And I will say, when they were attacking that second truck, she did not do it. She didn't use a seed at all. So she did not do it. So she did not kill the civilians. But Abigail and Rael, I'm pretty sure did. I have to go back and look to see if I can see like a freeze frame, but I'm pretty sure that, because they didn't know. So she told Rael and Abigail what happened. And I mean, that also threw, Abigail's mind in the world, because she's been bred as a soldier. That's all she knows. Military. And, be a patriot, die for your country, be honorable, have an honorable death. That's all she knows. And so now you're telling her that this lifelong tradition of her family, where they're pretty much military royalty, could all be for crap. That's hard. And then you got Rael, who already doesn't like the military and already doesn't like the rules, and pretty much went in thinking she's going to be cannon fodder. Now she's like, yeah, see, this is justifiable. I told you they were dirty. So yeah, this whole episode was probably my favorite one. And I just realized that a lot more is going to happen in the next 2 episodes. And I pretty much feel like we're finally going to get a little bit of Alder's dirty secrets aired, or her dirty laundry will be aired out by episode 10, because we only have 2 left. So something has to happen. And I think good writing means everything's going to be spun on its butt. So if we come to find out that the military is actually the bad guys and the spree is the good guys, and all the people that were killed in the pilot episode were actually evil, the people in the pool were all connected and evil, I don't really see that happening, but who knows? Porter was a double agent, but for the most part, I think we're going to learn a lot more about Alder and her involvement with the spree. And from the trailer, with the president showing up, it looks like Alder's already going to be in a lot of trouble, because sending those cadets out like that, and one of them came back dead, yeah, that was messed up. So yeah, maybe this is the fall of Alder's arc. And then next season, we'll have a rebuilding of the military under new leadership. Who knows? That might be what happens. I really want to do a theory video. I have so many connections that I want to make with people. But yeah, for the most part, I think where they're going with this season is amazing, and I cannot wait for next week. But I want to know what you guys think. So please leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you would like to sign up for jury duty, hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to know who's next in their bell, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys.
Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it. But hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.